Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sani Bonani Nyangianwabuela back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and please go ahead and click the subscribe button so you can join the family. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So as you know, as the title suggests, I am continuing with my coronavirus series, and in this particular video, because of my previous video, if you haven't watched it, please go ahead and check it out. I'll also link it down below. People had a lot of questions for me on my Instagram page at BlackGirlScientist. That's also linked down below. So if you're not following me, please go ahead and follow me there, because that's where I engage with you guys, and we have an interactive kind of relationship, and I ask you to ask me questions and I answer questions on there as well. But in this particular video, I wanted to address the questions that I got based on the COVID-19 vaccine, and that's what I'll be doing in this video. So if you're interested in this video, keep watching. So as I said previously, I had a lot of questions. It invoked a lot of discussion actually on my Twitter as well after I shot the first part of my coronavirus series, which was the COVID-19 vaccines. As we know, vaccines have been developed around the world, and people have started taking the vaccines, and us in South Africa are also expecting to receive our first couple of million coronavirus vaccines in the first quarter of the year. So in this video, because I had so many questions, and I know I had promised in the previous video, I promised on my Instagram page that I would answer the questions in that previous video, but it was already so long, and there were so many questions, so I thought, let me just do a whole separate video, which is a Q&A. After this, if you still have questions for me, of course, please go ahead and type them in the comment section below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. And yeah, so let's get straight into the video. Njengoba bengishilo, nginibuzile ukuthi ninayo imbuzo for mina based on my previous video of ama-COVID-19 vaccines. La ngichaza ukuthi yini ama-vaccine, futhi ama-vaccine ukuthi aphephile, and la eNingizimu Afrika ithini vaccine rollout strategy yethu. So namhlanje kule video ngizobe ngiphendula imibuzo yenu. Futhi uma siphelile le video and usanembuzo for mina, ngicela uwatype in the comment section down below. So the first question I had, and I got this question a lot, is that, is it safe? Will you take it or want it for your children? Then she said if I was a mom, so she doesn't know whether I am or not. And no, I'm not a mom, but is it safe? And yes, it is safe. Like I said in my previous video, vaccines go through rigorous testing. They go through many phases, and the fact that a vaccine is in the clinical trial means that it is already gone through its previous phases, the experimental phases that it needed to go through to get to a clinical trial. Even once it's in a clinical trial, it goes through many tests. The population which the vaccine is tested on is also very large, so we're able to have a great enough sample size to know when we apply it to the population at large, what are we going to see? Are we going to see any specific side effects? Does it have any adverse effects, etc.? So yes, the vaccine is safe, and will I take it? I am currently not in any of the prioritized populations to take it, but if I had a chance to take it and I had to take it, I definitely would take it, and I would want my children to take it. So that is the first question. The next question is, can this vaccine be trusted? And I feel like this question also goes hand in hand with what I said previously, that vaccines go through rigorous testing. They go through many phases. They have many hoops to jump before they are deemed safe for human consumption, or for a human to take it. I think another question that I'll address the side effects in another question, because I'm sure that question is also coming up. But can this vaccine be trusted? Yes, it can be trusted. All vaccines go through rigorous testing, and there's been a lot of conspiracies about what this vaccine is set out to do to the population, whether it, nobody wants to kill you, nobody wants to track where you are, it is safe, it is normal. I really don't know where these crazy things come from, and really there's no science behind that. So in these questions, of course, I'm going to be answering based on my knowledge and based on what I know. As I said in my previous video, again, I'm not an expert in coronavirus. I'm not an expert in coronavirus or COVID-19 vaccines as well. And everything that you read, please be wary of everything that you read and the source as well. So yes, the vaccine can be trusted. This lady says, hi, I'm a breastfeeding mom to a 1-month-old. How dangerous is it for my baby if I catch COVID? So this is actually great, because I was actually reading about breastfeeding moms and COVID-19. So as we know, babies, they usually get vaccinated, of course, because their immune system is very weak and they cannot really fight for themselves. I mean, they just came into the world. So in breastfeeding moms, there's been no studies that actually have shown that the COVID-19 or the SARS-CoV-2, which is the virus that causes COVID-19, can be transmitted to your baby via breast milk. It hasn't been shown. In what the CDC recommends for breastfeeding moms is that you pump if you can, so that you limit exposure to your baby. If you cannot pump, you wear a mask and practice good respiratory hygiene when you're breastfeeding your baby. But the actual breast milk is not said to be harmful for your baby if you do have COVID-19. Of course, you need to be very cautious, wash your hands, do all the things that we've been told to do if you have COVID-19. And if you don't as well, practice good hygiene, washing your hands for 20 seconds, practice social distancing, wearing a mask, and all of that. So yeah, it's not dangerous. It's not too dangerous for the breastfeeding part. Just make sure that you practice very good respiratory hygiene, of course, because your baby's still very, very small and you don't want to expose your baby to COVID-19. Another question I got is, when will it end? I assume this person means, when will the pandemic end? I don't know when it will end. This COVID-19 vaccines that we have are said to help us achieve herd immunity. I'm also not sure when we will reach having vaccinated 67% of the population. So I don't know when it will end, but as with every pandemic, it'll end. That's what I have to say for that. I got another question about the vaccine being safe. I've answered that. Yes, it is safe. And another person asks, is it better to stay at home and not go to the hospital if coronavirus? I assume she means if you have coronavirus. So at the start of the pandemic, like they said that if you think you may have COVID-19, it's better to stay at home and rather contact a healthcare worker. Of course, you don't go into the population and expose other people, but I don't think that it's really doable, and it's something that we can achieve here. I know a lot of people, if they have symptoms, they go and they get tested. So a person with coronavirus, if they are out in the population and they decided to not stay home, it's really important that they wear their masks, practice social distancing, etc. So yeah, of course, it's better that you stay at home, but you actually need to go and get tested to find out if you really have coronavirus, so that you can also self-isolate at home and also protect the people that you live with in your home. So another lady asks, is this vaccine going to help the second wave? Well, I assume she's saying since we didn't have one in the first wave. So the vaccine should help, depending on how quickly we get the vaccine, it should help curb the spread of coronavirus by having people vaccinated. So that will help them not to actually acquire the disease if they come across it. And obviously the main aim of everyone being vaccinated is to achieve herd immunity. So depending on how quickly we're able to get the vaccine, how quickly we're able to actually vaccinate people, that is going to depend how it affects, the infections that we're seeing in the second wave that we're experiencing of coronavirus. So another question I got is, why are we creating a virus that could kill us all as South Africa when we're meant to stay away from it? I'm not sure what this person means by creating a virus. I think this is in line with other theories that I've heard, that people think that, you know, this COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 virus was created. It was created and let out into the population so that people can become ill and die. I will not speak on that, of course, because I'm a scientist, and everything that we speak about and everything that I tell you is based on science. There are no reports, you know, or anything. I cannot believe that, I don't believe that this virus was created. And I think also, if this person is talking about the mutant strain that also wasn't created, that has been said to come out of South Africa, that is a mutation that occurred that created a new variant of the SARS-CoV-2, of course, which causes COVID-19. Yeah, then I had another question which asks about the side effects and the risks, specifically Bell's palsy. What are the risks and lasting effects? So I previously touched on side effects in my previous video, the first video that I shot of this series. Side effects when you receive a vaccine are normal. It's a normal phenomenon to experience side effects after getting vaccinated. The specific cases that we've seen, I think, which are alarming, are extremely rare. It's not something that happens to most of the population. It happens in a very small subset of the population, and it is not any cause for alarm. The mild side effects that you may experience from getting vaccinated is muscle pain, you know, maybe a headache, very mild symptoms, and it's not something that you should worry about, and it's no cause for alarm. What are the risks associated with being vaccinated? There are none that I know of right now, and this vaccine hasn't been around for very long, so I can't speak also on the lasting effects. The lasting effects of the vaccine will only be seen at a much later stage, if there are any. So yeah, I think that answers this question. And is it more deadly? If so, why? I think this person is also referring to the vaccine. It is not deadly at all. It is meant to protect you from getting the virus, and yeah, the virus is not deadly. So yeah, those are the questions that I received on my Instagram page, BlackGirlScientist. If you're not following me on there, please go ahead and follow me. I've linked it down below. And yeah, I think that brings me to the end of my questions. If you have any more questions for me, please go ahead and leave me a comment down below, or you can follow me on Instagram, send me a DM on there as well. So I also wanted to say thank you, ngiyabonga kakhulu, for the feedback on my first video of this series, where I'm slowly going to be doing videos in Vernac, and speaking my mother tongue as well, and explaining concepts in my mother tongue, which is Zulu. So thank you so much for the feedback on that. I got feedback on Twitter, and I got feedback on the actual video. You know, people also telling me the actual correct Zulu terms for vaccinating, which is Goma now, that I know, and I really appreciate the positive feedback. Please keep it coming, as well as the constructive criticism. Like I said, ngisafunda futhi to communicate iscience yami ngesiZulu. So if I mess up some words or I use English words because I'm not sure of the Zulu words, but ngokuhamba kwesikhathi ngizoba right and ngizofunda kakhulukazi amagama esiZulu ukuthi angena kanjani futhi kwi-science engenzayo. So ngiyabonga kakhulu nge-feedback. Yeah, ngiyabonga. So that brings me to the end of this video. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please can you go ahead and click the subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.